Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Alexisjayda and welcome. I do story times, makeup videos, makeup hauls, a bunch of goodies, so make sure you're subscribed so you guys can watch feature content. Notification shout out goes to that Mexican family. When I read this comment, I was like stuff like this, it gets me like, oh, like, 'cause that's just like some homegirl vibe, like, okay. So if you guys want to be the next notification shout out, all you have to do is just like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below when I go live and when I post a video, and you can possibly be the next notification shout out. So today's video that it has been highly requested is to continue my Nanny series. So I have a Nanny series, it's a story time, and I have uploaded, now this is going to be my 4th video. So make sure to watch the previous videos so you're kind of updated of why none of us mess with Voldemort, okay? Sometimes I say Voldemort. It's just how I talk sometimes. Sometimes I be renaming people and it's just tongue-tied. So I will be playing with the new Colourpop collection. I'm so excited. If you guys follow my vlog channel, which you should, I showed you guys a little sneak peek. Colourpop was so kind and sent me over some goodies, the whole collection. Today I received the Lizzie McGuire one. I'm so freaking stoked, but I already had talked about playing with that one, so we'll be playing with that one along with some new products. So everything I will be using will be linked down below, todo, all of it. So check it out. You guys ask about my headband as well. They sell it at Ulta. They finally restocked it. So excited about that. All right, so let's get into it. I'm freaking hype. I'm in a good mood and I just feel good. So with these story times, it's freaking wild because I have contact with some of the people that I do story times about, and some I don't because we just, they were just mean people. So Sam and I, we have talked since this whole drama here and there, and lately we've been talking a little bit more because she found me again through Storytime. And you guys do know the people involved in the story have wanted to meet up, and then I got ghosted, and that's fine because I already know that they're gonna be like, hey, I don't want these videos on here because people know, or they know that it's about me, yada yada yada. I'm thinking that they're gonna say, right, because it don't paint them in a good light. And when I do these story times and I read my diary, I get so hyped and so upset because I was a child, and it makes me just want to tie up my hair now and be like, come on, let's get it, bitch, let's get it, let's go, because I get so hyped and so upset, and it makes me not blame my mom for wanting to beat their ass when I was younger, because a lot of the times I did try. Look how pretty this palette is. First, hold on, gorgeous. My mom did want to beat their ass a few times, and I would sometimes be like, oh, you know, I don't even care. And then sometimes I'd be like, no, mom, no. Just because I knew a lot of the times like what they were doing was not okay. You have like, well, for some, you have this feeling like you want to protect them because you don't want bad things to happen, right? All right. And it's funny too, because me and Sam have been talking, and she's like, girl, they're going to love me, hate me, love me, hate me. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to switch it up just because me and you talk here and there. She's like, no, I can respect that. Like, I was a little shit. And it's like, So this incident is about Sam and Baltimore and the Peaches. I had went over. I was going to help out and babysit with the babies, and Sam and Baltimore were still going back and forth, fighting and being nasty towards each other because of all the drama that went down and went over. Baltimore was pissed because Sam kept, you know, making things awkward sometimes, and she was not letting up, like, at all. She had Baltimore on her toes. I kind of liked it, but little old me, pendeja old me, would kind of feel bad because I would see a different side of Baltimore, and I felt like, oh damn, like you know, you is a bitch, but I feel bad that you're having your own taste of your medicine. Just because someone does bad to you, there's very few that are like, oh, I wouldn't want that done to you. You know what I mean? And that's how I was sometimes, because I would start feeling bad for Baltimore and she would be a freaking nasty ass biatch to me, and I'd be like, oh, there you are. There you are, because she was just mean. So this day I went over and I was going to stay a little bit later because I didn't want to go back home where I was staying. There was drama, and it was, sometimes there was good days, but there's more drama than most. And I didn't like my ex's mom. That bitch was hateful. And I'm talking about hateful. So I'll kind of give you like the backstory of why I stayed a little bit later. So at the time I was staying with my ex's family, and his mom was just on one. Like, she could not stand me. She hated that my mom was a user because she would always say that I was going to follow her footsteps. Even when I would tell her like, no, like I want better for me, she would tell me the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Like, you are what your mom's gonna be. Like, I'm just like my mom. And she was like trying to tell me all the good stuff like her mom was, and I'd look at her like, nah bitch, far from it. So sometimes I would stay quiet with her and not tell her anything because I had nowhere to go, and she knew that too. She knew that I didn't have anywhere to go because what is this? Why did it show brown? I mean, why did it show, what the? She knew that I didn't have my mom and I didn't have anywhere to go, so me living with them was a privilege to her because I didn't have anywhere. And she knew like I would go into the system if I didn't have anywhere to lay my head. So when she would give me a hard time, sometimes I would just bite my tongue and me and him would fight. And he was the type where he would say like whatever she say, it would go, because they had this mommy and son weird as hell relationship where it was just too much. Like, he was dating us both and it was just weird. Like, I don't care what he says, it was fucking weird. Like, if your sister is telling me that it's a weird relationship, then I know I'm not the only one. Okay. She was just on me that morning, okay? And we were going back and forth. So she had bought some Mexican cookies and had them in a bag. They were so freaking good. I didn't really get to eat a lot, and I think that's why I have like a eating problem now, where I feel like I'm going to starve again. So I tend to feel like I have to eat everything as possible because I might not be able to eat again or something like that. Like, it's weird. And I honestly think it's because it goes back to like my childhood. There was these cookies that she had bought and she liked to have them with her coffee. And I'm not saying it was like 3-4 cookies. This was a dozen cookies, okay? She had went to the store. I would never really eat with them, and if I did, it was very little what was on my plate, because she would constantly attack my figure and tell me that like I'm going to end up fat and stuff. And she was on the heavy side, and she would tell me that I'm gonna end up like her. Like, do you want to end up like me? Like, I'm doing you a favor. She would try to do like that kind of like manipulation, and she would tell me like she didn't want her son to end up with someone fat because then he won't be attracted to me and he's just gonna cheat on me. And I'm like, he cheats anyways, bitch. Like, it doesn't matter how I look, like he's going to anyways. It was just a constant thing. And so when we would eat, I would have to serve myself not that much because she would comment, or she would literally take what was on my plate and be like, no, te pasas. Like, you're going overboard, you don't need that much. Or she'd tell me that, oh, because like you're the one who buys the food, huh? Oh, okay, yeah, you bought that, huh? Like, so it was just really uncomfortable. So I always make sure that I never served myself a lot. Well, with these cookies, she had to go run an errand with the ex at the time, and I was just, she made the cookie look so bomb with the coffee, okay? She heated up the coffee, came out all nice, and like, you know, you just smell coffee and it just smells like, oh my God, amazing. So I was like, okay, when they go, I'm gonna grub. I'm gonna have me like 2 cookies. I'm going to eat, gonna dip it, might even double dip. I did. So they left. I got my coffee ready. I took a shower. So, you know, you get out, you feel all clean, you feel all nice. And I knew they were gonna be a minute because they would go out to go run their errands, and they would always go out to eat. Would they tell me I was invited? No. They would literally, if I ever tagged along, they wouldn't go out to eat because they didn't want to pay for my plate. I get it. I really do, okay? In a messed up way, I kind of understand, because it's just like, why should I have to pay for this girl, her food and stuff like that? And I would kind of just chalk it up as that, you know, like, all right, whatever, I get it, I'm expensive. So I knew they were gonna be a minute. I knew they weren't just going to run some errands. I knew that he was gonna take her to a nice restaurant. They were gonna grub and date each other. So took my shower, made my coffee. It was freaking hot. Put a little bit of extra sugar. Got all cute and ready because I was like, I'm gonna eat really good. To some, you guys are probably like, damn girl, it's just a cookie, calm down. But I didn't really get to treat myself that much, and I was always hungry, like always hungry. I always felt like my panza always hurt. So I sat down and I'm drinking my coffee, dipping the cookie. I'm just grubbing, enjoying my time, and I'm already almost finished with my second cookie, and I hear them pull up. I had to hurry up and clean up my mess and wash out my mug because I know she was just gonna complain and be like, what were you doing the whole time we were gone? How come this isn't clean? How come that wasn't clean? There's only 3 of us staying in the basement, and even though it was clean, she constantly had something to bitch about. Like, it was just like too much, where it was just like, you just hate me. You just want to find something to complain about. Like, you don't like me. Like, anything, you just don't like me. It was only 3 of us. I never cleaned her room because that's just weird and nasty. So I made sure that the living area was clean, the kitchen was clean, the restroom was clean, and where we stayed was clean. So I'm cleaning up and I hear them walking down the stairs. By the time I can finish drying the cup, I can hear her and she's like, no chingues. Like, you really had coffee while we were gone? No, it's fine. I bet. So you want to eat all of it? I bet. Eat all of it. No, like, if it's not expensive. I was just so annoyed because there was still 10 other cookies left. Like, you're lucky I didn't eat all of it. And so right away he looks at me like super annoyed, and they have their Applebee's bags because they just ate Applebee's. And I'm like thinking in my head, like, are you kidding me? Like, you're really complaining about some cookies when you just ate? Like, you're fine. Like, I did not eat it all. Relax. And so she sees me roll my eyes, and she does the whole like trying to see if she really just saw me roll my eyes. So I go again, like, no, you saw it, right? And she's upset, and she's like telling me and stuff that how come I just didn't eat when they were here, and that if I make her feel bad that I eat when they aren't here, and that she's just trying to help me out. So if you don't want to take my advice, and if you want to be fat like me, come. Eat it all. I bet. Make another one. I bet. Make another cup of coffee. Like, make another one. So we're going back and forth, and I'm like telling her like, nope, like, I just wanted a little bit. Nope, like, no. It's weird. Like, how do you fight with somebody about food? Never in my life have I fought with her as much with anybody else about food. She's just like upset, like annoyed. And I hear him grabbing the keys again, and he's like, I'll be right back. And I'm like, where are you going? And he tells me that he's gonna go get some more cookies. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I tell him, like, are you serious? Like, there's still some left. Like, I'll go throw it up right now. He would, any chance that he would get, he would always just leave. Never would he ever really invite. I literally had to like beg to go. And then when we would go, we would come back so quick. He didn't want to be out and seen with me, you know? Especially when we stayed with his mom. He couldn't give me too much attention because, oh no, it made her, no, don't, like, and it wasn't like we were like tonguing each other down in front of her. Like, no, it was nothing like that. It was just any type of affection or any type of like niceness he would show, she felt some way about it. Like, it was weird. I cannot stand her. Like, God forgive me, but I cannot. She was sick. So he's leaving, and so I start getting ready, and he's like, no, like, you're not going with me. Even though, yes, I did want to go, I was like, no, I have to go with my mom. Like, she told me she was gonna pick me up today. Lie. And so he looks at me, and he's just annoyed. Peaches has texted me at the time, and she tells me if I can come over a little bit sooner so I can help her out, because Sam and Baltimore are fighting a lot, and things are not getting done that need to be done. And I was like, yeah, I'll be over. I finished getting ready because I just got out of the shower, and I head over there. I have to walk. So I tell her, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit. I'll be there soon. Don't worry. Oh man, I don't like how this looks. It looked cuter in my head. So he leaves, and I'm still like getting my shoes on, getting ready to go, and she's just freaking hounding me about like, what did you do? What all did you clean? Like, you think that you can just leave and the house is still a mess? And I'm like, how is it a mess? Like, what's a mess? I'll do it right now. Like, what's a mess? No, like, I shouldn't have to tell you. You should just see it. You want to live in filth. And I'm like, and I honestly think también, maybe it's an excuse why I hate cleaning. Like, I hate it because this bitch would have me on my knees with a toothbrush cleaning the tile because the mop wasn't enough. Like, stupid shit like that, where this person would have me, and I cannot stand her. Like, things that were just pointless, where it's like, why am I doing this? Why? Like, I don't understand why you hate me so much. Like, I literally did nothing. So I'm telling her, like, what is it? And she's like, I shouldn't have to tell you. You should just know. And I was like, well, I'm a pendeja, so please show me. She's like, yeah, I know you are. So I'm like, okay, can you just show me? She's like, no, go ahead, go with your other boyfriend. And I hated when she would say things like that, because I constantly had to correct her, because God forbid if I didn't correct her, then she'd be like, you see, it's true, because you didn't say anything, you didn't say no, you didn't deny it. I knew it. So when she said, like, go with your other boyfriend, I'm like, I'm not going with my other boyfriend. I don't have another boyfriend. I don't know what you're talking about. Please don't say things like that, because the sister lived upstairs, and I know she could hear. She would just come down the hall, down the stairs, and just listen. And that's how most of the time she would catch her mom talking on her. So I knew that, like, homegirl over here listening, mom was over here fighting with me. So I'm like, oh man, like, I just want to leave. Me and her are continually going back and forth. I'm like, no, I don't have anybody. She's like, no, I know, that's when you're always trying to leave. I'm like, I'm trying to leave because my mom needs me to go with her. And she's like, no, stop in. If you want to lie to me, that's okay. So I just fold the blankets that I had, that I was like cozying up with, and I just leave, because I'm like, I can't. Like, there's only so much that you can do, and it comes to the point where she's like, we're arguing for no reason at all. So I go up the stairs, and I see his sister, and she's like asking me, like, oh, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I gotta go with my mom. And she's like, okay. I just closed the door. Later on, I get yelled at about that because I didn't let her finish her sentence, whatever. So as I'm walking over to Mrs. Peach's and I get to her house, I notice that Sam is outside. And as soon as I walk up, I was gonna say pull up, but it's like, bitch, where? So I walk up and I see that she's outside, and she looks like she's been crying. So I ask her and stuff, like, hey, like, what's up? And she's like, why are you here? I'm like, I work here. She's like, yeah, but I thought you'd come in a little bit later. I'm like, oh yeah, I usually do, but Mrs. Peach wants me here. She's like, why? And I didn't want to sit here and tell her, like, oh, because she told me that y'all ain't doing your job. Well, Baltimore ain't doing her job, so I got called in. And I told her, like, oh, it's because, like, she needs some help with something. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever, like that. And so I was like, ew, bitch, then why'd you ask? So I just give her an ugly look, and we give each other, like, back and forth, because I didn't want her thinking, like, just because your sister's punking on me, you ain't gonna fucking punk on me too, because you can get it. I don't care. I walk inside, and I see Baltimore, and she is so upset to see my face. No one wanted to see my face. So I'm like, okay. Walk in, the kids are like, hey, all excited. I'm excited to see them. She asks me, like, why are you here? Pretty much the same. Why are these colors sticking? Pretty much the same thing that her sister said. I'm like, Peach called me. She wants me to come in. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you don't know? I'm like, nope, I don't know. And so I go, I find Mrs. Peach, and she just looks so annoyed. I ask her what's wrong. You know, she wants to talk about anything, and she just starts telling me that they've been going at it back and forth, and that she doesn't want Sam here. She's like, no, like, ever since she came, it's just so much, you know, fighting, and it's just too much. Like, do you understand? And I'm trying not to agree with her or disagree with her, just kind of trying to stay, like, in the middle, because Peaches tend to, if I didn't like something, like, Alexis, remember you said too? She would do that type of shit. So I was like, I ain't trying to fight with two Baltimores. So so she was like complaining about them, that they're just going back and forth, constant fighting, and she just can't deal with it anymore. So she's like, I need you to step it up and help out today. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? So she tells me that she wants me to mop. So I'm like, okay. So I go downstairs, and I'm getting the mop out so that I can get to clean. So right away, Baltimore comes close, and she tells me that she was gonna do that. I'm like, no, it's fine. Mrs. Peach wants me to do it. And she's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. She just said to do it. She's like, okay, but give me it. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So we're literally having to fight over who can mop. And so Mrs. Peaches hears, and she comes downstairs and she's like, oh my gosh, Alexis, what's going on? And I'm upset because I'm like, why are you catching an attitude with me? Like, what the hell? And she comes down and she's like, oh my God, Alexis, like, what's wrong? And I tell her like, oh, I'm trying to mop and Baltimore doesn't want me to. She was like telling me like, how come I just don't give it to her then? And so I'm kind of confused because I'm like, you know what, maybe I should, like I shouldn't be fighting with her. But then I was like, but I bet you anything, if I would have gave it to her, then I would have been in trouble for giving it to her and being like, okay, because I was told to do something, you know? Because that's the kind of stuff that I would get in trouble for. Like with my mom, like my mom would be like, I told you to do this, like why didn't you do it? And I'd be like, oh, because they said they'd do it. My mom's like, yeah, but I told you to do it, you know? So, oh, I should have just left it blue, huh? But now I'm covering it like that. Oh, wow. She's like, why didn't you just let her do it? And I'm like, and so I just let go of the mop. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what else did you want me to do? Because my job, the things that I usually would do, they were already all done. And so she tells me like, I don't know, Alexis, pick something. So she's projecting her anger. And I was just like, oh my God, I am not in the mood. I got this bitch that I have to deal with at home. And I come here and you're going to be giving me the same heat I would have been getting over there. So I was annoyed, like you can tell. Sam walks in the house and she tells me that how come I got a stank face. I ignore her because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and fight with you either. Like I'm not gonna have 3 people talking smack to me, like you got me messed up. So I ignore her and she's like, did you not hear me? And so I just smile because at this time in my head, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to risk it. I've been wanting to beat your sister's ass, but I'll beat yours instead because I am ready. So I smile and I turned around and I said, I don't, it's just my face. And she's like, well, it's an ugly face. Maybe you should fix it. And I was like, fix yours, bitch, or fix mine. Come on, let's do it. Like, I just, right away, I was like, come on, let's do it. Baltimore's like real quick, like, you guys stop. She says, I'm bored. I want to do something. And Baltimore's like, well, what do you want to do? She's like, I don't know, I'm bored. I'm here, so let's do something. Like, I'm bored, take me somewhere. And she's like, well, I have to finish this, I have to finish doing that. And Sam was like, oh my gosh. She's like, why? Like, why do you have to do it? How come she can't do it? And she's like pointing to me. And Baltimore tells her, because this is my job, like I'm going to do it. And I think it's because she was like trying to make up for what happened in Wendover. So she was like, I don't wanna, you know, bite the hand that feeds me. What if they get tired and they're just like, you know what, you gotta go. Bye. So she tells me, ask Alexis if she'll take you to go hang out with some friends if she even has any. So I tell her, like, I'm not gonna take her anywhere. Like, I don't want to take her anywhere. As we're going back and forth, like, I'm not taking her. I'm not going anywhere with her. Peach comes down and she's like, yeah, what's happening? Well, what's happening? With just like that stank face of like annoyance, like, what? And Baltimore's like, I just asked Alexis if she can take her out just to go see how the neighborhood is, go hang out with her friends. And again, she tries to be funny and says, if she has any. Peaches kind of chuckles and I'm just like, how is that funny? And then Peach is like, that's a great idea. I get pissed because I'm like, I am not a chauffeur. Like, what? So I tell Peach, like, I don't want to leave because I need this money. So I tell her, like, I'm not trying to leave. Like, I'm trying to make this money. Like, I need money. She hands me a $50 and she's like, then here, this is for today. You guys go do something. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for her. Like, as petty as that might sound, I don't care. I didn't want to pay for her. I didn't want my money being taken out of or anything. And then Sam's like, I got my own money. So I look at her, Baltimore looks at her like, you're lying, right? And Baltimore tells her like, no, it's okay. Like, I'll give you money. She's like, I don't want anything from you. All dramatic. I look at her and I'm just like, girl, bye. Either beat her ass, spit in her face, do something, or shut up. Because I'm just so annoyed with her and just how the whole morning was going. So I grab the 50. She says she has her own money. And I'm like, okay, fine. And the whole time I'm laughing inside because I'm like, that's how you know Mrs. Peach is getting annoyed with them, because she's just trying to get her out, you know? Me and Sam are walking out the door. She's like, where are we going? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't got any friends. And she starts laughing and she's like, dang, that's sad. And so we're just kind of like talking back and forth because she was like, that's sad. Like, you know, pretty much calling me a maid. Ain't nobody want me. And we're just like talking kind of just like ganging up on each other, which was just so weird because it was like light banter, but at the same time we were both like hitting each other hard, and it wasn't funny because it did kind of hurt, you know? I really don't like this look. I don't like how it's turning out, but we're just gonna go with it because I'm telling you story time. If I was doing a makeup tutorial, I would have wiped this off. I text one of my friends and we'll name her Lemon. So I asked Lemon like, hey girl, what you doing? I have a friend and we're just trying to hang out and chill somewhere. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be at the library, come through. I'm like, okay, cool. Back in the day, that's where everyone would go, the library. So we go to the library and she's like telling me like, are we really gonna go hang out at the library? I'm like, yes. I don't know where else to go. We're not grown. It's not like if I can get in the car and take you somewhere. Like, yes. And so I have $50. I stop at a 7-Eleven. I get me a hot dog, so I'm starving, and I get me a Slurpee. We're like going to the store. I'm like, you want anything? She's like, no, I don't eat that shit. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, I'll pay for it. She's like, I got my own money. I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to be like that? Fine. So we're walking. I'm eating my hot dog and I'm sipping on my Slurpee. I'm hungry. And I get a text and it's from the ex and he's like, where the hell are you? I told him like I'm out with my mom. Why? He doesn't respond. And the whole time, anytime I would like lie to him, I would get scared because I always feel like there was cameras on me or I'm gonna get caught or anything like that. So she's like telling me like, oh, are you checking in? Because when we were in Wendover, we were kind of talking a lot and kind of telling each other like everything that was going on, the situation, all that. So I thought me and her were like gonna be somewhat cool, but when I walked in, she was being freaking mean, you know? So I was like, whatever. Maybe she's just one of those people who they talk to you only out of convenience, or maybe she's just having an off day. And so I was like, yep. And she's like, that's pretty sad. I'm like, yep. I don't know what else to say because I know what it is. I know it looks sad. I know it's pathetic. Like, you can't tell me what I already know. So we're getting close to the library and I see Lemon, and Lemon comes out. She hugs me because we hardly don't ever get to see each other and we only hang out sometimes here and there. So she hugs me, I hug her, and I introduce Sam. I'm like, this is Sam, Baltimore's sister. She looks at Sam right away and she goes, oh. She's like, why are you with her? Like, she doesn't even acknowledge her, like, hey, hi. She tells me, like, why are you with her? I'm like, I had to bring her in Baltimore. I need to get things done, and I guess she was giving them a hard time. Sam looks all annoyed. She's like, okay, like if I'm not here. And I'm like, oh, are you? Oh, hi, hello there. Just to be a bitch, you know? And so she starts laughing, and that kind of like breaks the ice. And Sam tells her like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. So we go inside the stupid freaking library and we just sit there and we're talking, and Lemon is telling me that I should go with her to her boyfriend's house because they're gonna have like a little kickback. Nothing too much, not like a party or anything, but just like a little kickback. And all her homies are gonna be there chilling. I'm like, dude, I don't know, because me and the ex is gonna fight, like, and I don't want to get into back to your man's. We'll call her man. We'll just call her dude Jack. Let's not complicate it. I was like, I'll get back to Jack, and I don't want to deal with that mess, like, you know how that is. And she's like, no, I won't. Like, I'll tell Jack not to say anything. And I'm like, we start walking, and Sam's kind of hyped because she's like, is there gonna be beer there? Is there gonna be liquor? Like, I'm trying to get up. And so we're like, chill. No, I don't know yet, just chill. Like, I'm like, I don't want to take you back drunk because I don't want Mrs. Peach thinking I'm a bad influence. And she's like, dude, her. She's like, she's so fake. She's like, I can't stand to be in that house. And so I'm like, why? Like, why? And she's like, they're all just shady. They're all just shady, dirty, grimy, and just talking like a mile a minute about them. Lemon is laughing, and she's like, you know, like, let us know. What is it? Give us the 411. And she kind of caught herself midway because she probably was like, oh, shit, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, you know? And she's like, nah, I just don't like them. She's like, I can't stand them. And I start laughing, and I start telling Lemon, I was like, dude, the whole time in Wendover, she was doing nothing but putting them on blast. Sam goes, no, I was just telling truth, and that's what they do. They're a bunch of liars. And so we get to the house, and I just look at Sam, and I tell her and stuff not to get drunk. I was like, they are gonna have liquor and beer, but like, don't get drunk. Like, I really don't want to take you back. I really don't want to risk this. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I need this money. Like, I'm trying to like be on my own, talking like, you know how we all talk when we're like older and stuff. And like, I don't want to be there anymore, but I really don't want to be with my ex anymore. Like, I need you to be on your best behavior. Like, don't fuck this up for me, because I don't care. I'll leave your ass here, and I don't know how you're gonna get back. Like, not my problem. And so she's like, oh no, girl, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll be chill. So I'm like, okay. Like, I had to give her a little pep talk because I was like, I have a lot at risk here, and don't fuck it up for me. Don't mess it up for me. All right, you guys, real quick, we're gonna go in with the KVD Good Apple Tan 03 Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm, and I will be using my Ellery Smooth Canvas foundation brush. Prep my face with my Benefit Pourer and my Flower Beauty primer. Oh my gosh, it's like butter. All right, I just went like, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. That is good. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at that. Before, after. That went in amazing. Oh my god. So here are the blushes that I do want to use. So we go inside. There's like a little bit of people, and we see Jack, and Jack's like, oh hey Lex, you know, like excited to see me. And we just sit down, and I introduce Sam, like, this is Sam, this is Voldemort's little sister. And she's like, can you stop introducing me like that? And I'm laughing, and I'm like, why? Like, I have talked about you to my friends, and I want them to know that your sister has a little demon child, and I had to bring her along. And she's like, I'm not her child. I'm like, okay, calm down. We all get to sitting down, and they ask if I want anything to drink, and Sam right away goes, yes please. And so I tell him and stuff like, don't serve her too much because we have to go back, and I'm not trying to hear Voldemort, and I'm not trying to get on Peach's bad side. And Jack's like, no, I got you. So he serves her. I can't ever have nothing in this house. That just makes my ass itch. That I didn't even have that long. They get to talking and just kind of just asking Sam like, oh, where are you from? Getting to know her a little bit, you know. And I noticed that Jack's friend, we'll call him Sparrow. Sparrow is kind of like getting a little friendly with her. And I just asked Sam like, you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, chill. Oh my gosh. Like, getting annoyed with me, but I don't ever want her to like be put in an uncomfortable position, not because of like the whole like her sister and because of Peach or anything, just because like I've been through it and I don't ever want anyone to like feel uncomfortable, you know. I'm usually that loud friend in the group, like, don't look at her like that, don't touch her, you know. She said this, she said that. That did not show Naya, like very lightly. Can you guys see it? Very lightly. She like tells me to chill. I'm like, okay, whatever. So me and Lemon are talking, and Lemon's like, am I just too morena for it? Oh, there it is. And we get to talking. She's like telling me that like she's even surprised that like I even have her. I'm like, dude, I know, but they gave me this. It's a $50. I'm like, so I had to. And she was like, oh yeah. She's like, let's order pizza. I'm like, no bitch, I need this. Okay, no, not for no pizza. And so she starts laughing, and she's like, oh yeah, forget you homeless. Like, just talk your shit. I'm like, yeah bitch, I'm homeless, so out of here. And we're talking a little bit more. Jack's asking me if my ex knows where I'm at, and I'm like, why? And I already knew in my gut something was up. And ooh, that color was pretty. And Peach tells him like, I told you you can't tell him to come over, or you can't invite him over, whatever. So this is like where all the friends are like hanging out at the moment. And he was like, okay, but he's gonna pull up, and I didn't want to seem weird, like, you know how he gets. As soon as he says that, in walks the ex, and right away we make eye contact, and it's just so awkward because I'm like, I kind of ignore him because I live with the dude. So we make eye contact, and he just looks at me like, everyone feels the awkwardness in the room, and right away he gravitates towards Sam, and my heart sinks because I'm like, no, this is gonna be so awkward. So he gravitates towards her. She's having a drink, she's talking to Sparrow, and he like asks her like, oh hey, like I haven't seen you around here, you know. And she's like, oh yeah, I came here with her. Points at me like, what do you mean her, bitch? I got a name. And he's like, oh, Alexis? And she's like, yeah. And so he looks at me even more like, what the F, right? They get to talking, and my friend Lemon is like, get up, go say hi, go sit with your mans. And I'm like, no, like I really, no, I can't stand him. I don't want to be around him, no. So he doesn't even bother coming over. he's just still talking to her, getting to, I guess, know the details, asking her and stuff like, oh, so are you new here? And the room is so small, you can hear what they're talking about. You can hear what everyone is saying. I got this dirty super quick. I don't even pay attention too long because I'm just, at this point, I don't want to look like that weirdo too who's just like staring and like, don't be talking to my mans. Because it didn't matter what I did, he always did what he did. You know what, if anything, I'll just leave her ass here. Like, if anything comes to worst, I'll just leave her ass here. So me and Lemon just get to talking and we're just having fun. Jack ends up ordering pizza because Lemon's saying that she's hungry, and he's like, oh yeah, like I ordered pizza off my mom's card. So he's ordering pizza, asking us what we want and stuff. Pizza gets here and I get to grubbing, and they're like laughing at me like, damn Lex, like food's not gonna run away. And that right away gets the ex's attention. Like, what? Like, what's going on? What? And he's like, what did you say? He says it to Jack. And Jack's like, the food's not gonna run away? And he's like, why would it run away? Like, are you assuming she's fat? Like, what are you talking about? It's because she's eating a lot? Oh my God, here we go. Like, they're making it, he's making it about something that it's not. Like, it was a joke and you're taking it too far. So I just put the food down. Me and Lemon go outside and Lemon is smoking her cigarettes. I did not think at the time, I just left Sam inside because I'm just thinking about me. Like, you know, me being annoyed, and me and Sam go outside and she's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'll tell Jack to apologize. And I'm like, for what? And I was like, nah, like the ex is just like, he's bugging. Me and her just get to talking about just like life and just everything. Like every time we would hang out, we would just try to like catch up on the most that we possibly could because we didn't know the next time we were going to be able to hang out, because her and Jack were like inseparable and always together. And I had my own thing going on, you know, my own struggles, all that. We were just talking and Jack later comes outside and he's like, my bad, like it was a joke, like I wasn't calling you fat or anything. And I'm like, nah, like I didn't even take it as that. So he tells me like, you should get inside. And I'm like, oh, why? And it didn't even appear to me that he was trying to like, give me like a heads up, like something's going on, you know? He's like, no, you should just go inside. Oh, you're trying to get alone. Okay, oh, I'm gonna go inside. All stupid, okay? And I was like, y'all use protection. Like just being funny and stupid and cringe at the same time, okay? So as soon as I go inside, I don't see the ex. And I totally forgot about Sam. And so I'm like, what the heck? You know, and then right away, my panza starts talking to me. And I'm like, oh, they're doing something, right? They're doing something. I go into the kitchen where it's kind of like closed off, like it has its own door. As I'm walking there and I have like my drink the whole time, I'm like, please don't be doing something with her, please. This will be it. Like I won't even be able to like contain myself because she knows who he is now. I'm gonna lose my shit. So the whole time I'm talking and I really am praying to Jesus. And I'm like, please, like please, like I'll do better. I'll do better. I will listen, you know, because you don't ever want heartbreak that's gonna hit close to your work. So as I'm walking to the kitchen, I can hear them and they're like some chitter chatter, okay? And I swear it's probably like yourself making or hearing noises, but I swear I heard like some kissing going on, like something like that, right? I'm walking closer and I open the door. Sam, the ex, and this is the fridge. I open the door, and as soon as I open the door, they like this, and he acts like he's getting something from the fridge. I didn't even know like how to react or how to like feel. I felt stupid. I feel like when your body goes into pilot mode, especially because she was just talking to Sparrow. And Sparrow, you're a good looking kid. And so I look at her and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? Oh my God, I'll see you out there. To him. And I'm like, what? I said, what? What do you mean? I'll see you out there. Oh my God. And she goes to the door and he is looking so stupid looking through the fridge. And I'm like, what are you looking for? He's like, I don't know, something to drink. And I'm like, I see a cup. And I'm like, isn't that your drink right there? Oh yeah. Closes the door. And so I'm like, is it too, like in my head, I'm thinking like, is it too quick for them to have hooked up? Like, did she just perform fellatio or something? Like something could happen They could have been standing. Like, I'm thinking about so many things. And I asked him, like, what was that? And he was like, what was what? I was like, what was that? Like, what were you and Sam talking about? He's like, oh my God, you always make things out of nothing. I can't ever make any girlfriends or anything like that. I'm like, girlfriend? So now she's your friend? So we get to fighting, and it gets to the point where we're like screaming at each other, and he's telling me that I'm crazy and I'm always making things out of nothing, and oh my God, I should have never even came. You're always ruining it. Now my friends, they're never gonna want to invite us over because how you are. And it was literally like my fault, right? It's always my fault. I compose myself and I'm like, okay, whatever, because we were just screaming at each other. I run out and I tell him, like, hey, I'm leaving. And so as I'm leaving, she's like, whoa, 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 what happened? I was like, no, they were back there. I don't know what the hell they were doing. And right away I look at Jack and I'm like, you know, like I wanted him to confirm it or something. Like, yeah, you saw what you saw. He just pushed his head down and he just like that. And so I'm like, so what happened? Like, did you say anything? He's like just fixing his shirt, and I'm just livid. So I'm like, I gotta leave. And Lemon's like, whoa, 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 like, whoa, like, no, like we were supposed to hang out. Like, I haven't seen you, because we didn't see each other that often, you know. So I was like, nah, I'll text you later. Like, I'm sorry. Like, once I get in that mindset of like, nah, I can't. Like, nah, I can't. So I leave. I don't even tell Sam like, hey, let's go. As I'm leaving, the door slams open and it's Lemon, and she's like, hey, take your bitch with you. And I'm laughing because I'm like I thought she was going out here to be like, no, don't leave. But she's like, no, like, take your bitch with you. And I call Sam, like if she was a freaking perra. I'm like, Sam, get out here, you know. And so out comes Sam, and she's like, bye guys, thanks for inviting me. Like, nothing. And Lemon just folding her hands, just like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, just like nodding her head. And Sparrow comes out and he's like, bye, you know, saying bye to her, all kinds of stupid. And I just get to walk in. I get to walk in, and she's like trying to catch up with me. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, nah, that wasn't cool. Like, I brought you over with my friends and you're gonna do some grimy shit like that. And she's like, I didn't even do anything. It was just the timing was horrible. And so I was like, so why were you that close to him? So like, what happened then? And she's like, nothing. Oh my God. She's like, he's right. You are dramatic. I'm like, what do you mean? So like, what, you guys were just talking about me? What, like all of a sudden you think you know me because you talked to him, and now you just think you know? So I'm going back and forth with her, and she's like, no, he was just telling me that he like really likes you, but that like I had to go back to the living room and I couldn't get my other drink because I'm like, no, Sam, don't lie to me, because Jack and Sparrow were over there handing out the drinks. There's no need to be in the kitchen. Like, you had no business. She's like, no, like, listen, like, the way she was talking, I was like, this is how Baltimore bullshits. Like, they were giving me the same, like, no, like how they do that. She was telling me that I guess he went to the kitchen, he was going to go get something, and she went back there, and he was like, oh, you shouldn't be back here with me. Alexis is gonna trip. She's very dramatic, and she gets super jealous. And that she was like, no, I just want to drink. That makes me mad because it's a lie. It's a lie. Why were you guys even that close in the first place? There's no need for it. And I kept telling her, like, there's no need to lie to me. Like, I know what he is. I know he's a dog, but I thought you were cool. Like, I honestly thought you were cool. And now I'm gonna have problems with your sister, and now I'm gonna have problems with him when I get back home. And me and her are just like going back and forth and trying to get her to realize like, what, and like, why were you so close? Like, what were you doing? She's telling me I'm being dramatic, so we're fighting the whole time. By the time we are like not even almost done fighting, we're already back home. So she tells me and stuff that like I'm reading way too much into it, and I'm like, so why were you even that close? And as soon as before we even go to the door, she's like, you're reading way too much into it, it's not that deep. And just kind of making me feel like if I was crazy, because I was like, you know what, maybe I am. Maybe he did tell her that and it just worked out for his benefit. And maybe that would be too ballsy of her to do, because I'm the one who took her there, for her to do that. Like, what would be the reason? And she was already talking to Sparrow, so there would be no reason for her to be like, I don't want Jack, I want the other one. So I kept trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but that's in my head. Okay, that's in my head. I'm just letting her talk, and she's like telling me that like I'm crazy, that like why would she do that, that like even though she's giving me a hard time, they're like, no, but you're chill as fuck, like why would I do that, like why would I do that, like you're tripping. And so I look at her and I tell her and stuff, I'm like, I hope I'm tripping. I really hope I'm tripping because that's some grimy ass shit. That's just the type of shit that Baltimore does. And I open the door, okay? As I open the door, I feel her nudge me getting in the door. So I go like this, and Baltimore and Peach are right there drinking their margaritas, and they're like, ¿Qué pasó? Like, what's going on? Because she sees that she had pushed me, and I'm like, she could have done that all we were outside. But the bitch waited till we got home safe to do it. So I get mad, and as I go like that, I go like that, and I freaking elbow back, okay? Same with the punch. You're gonna throw a punch, elbow that bitch. So, anyways, but that's a different thing. So I go like that because I'm like, like we're not gonna stay. I'm not gonna let y'all punk on me. Like, I'm so tired of it. So as I do that, Baltimore gets up quick, like hey, yelling at me. And I tell them like, no, she pushed me first. I'm not doing this. And I tell Peach, I'm like, I'm leaving already. She's like, no, Alexis, like I need help. You have to do this. So I had to help her with like this project and stuff regarding the kids. So I'm like, okay, I'm going upstairs. I'm not talking to her. I'm never taking her out again. All dramatic, right? Like, I'm never gonna play with her again, blah, blah, blah. Peach is like, what happened? What happened? And Sam wants to be slick and be like, she's mad because her boyfriend kissed me. My head felt like it was going to snap off because didn't she say the whole time that nothing happened? It was not that deep, but make it more than it was. So I go like this. Before I go like this, my eye catches Baltimore, and she's like that. Like, oh, I'm so proud of my little hooch. So I look over and I'm like, you did what? And like, you could just see, I guess she could just see the hurt on my face. Because she's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like that. Like, I don't know if she knew like that hurt, like what, or like that she could see it, but she's like, I'm just kidding. Or she probably knew that like I was gonna beat her ass. Not because of him, because of the disrespect. I already told y'all. She's like, I'm just kidding. And then Baltimore's like, did you or did you not? You know, because she probably wants to deets, she probably wants to like beat off to it or something. And so she's like, no, I didn't. He was just talking to me, and Alexis got upset. I was like, no, that's not what happened. So we went to my friend's house, and I'm giving them all the details that I had gave you. They're like, why were you alone with him? Like, what were you doing? So Peaches is already like, what? Why were you talking to him? I don't understand. Like, you know. And so Baltimore was getting upset because she felt like she was getting grilled. Sam was getting grilled, and Sam was like, nothing happened, we were just talking. Oh my gosh. She goes upstairs, and I'm like, I'm going upstairs. Like, no. And so like I go before her, and I look down, and I'm looking down at her like, back down, bitch. Like, back down. Because I'm like mad. Like, how are we gonna go up the same spot? Like, I ain't trying to chill with you. Freaking nasty ass. At that time we were fighting, my phone starts buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. So I just tell Peach, I'm gonna meet you upstairs. I go upstairs, and I can hear all of them talking, and I can hear Peach telling her and stuff like, well, why would you do that? Like, you don't know, like, he's not a good person. Like, oh my God, you probably just did it to make Alexis mad. You have her tomorrow. Like, no. Like, you know, whatever they were saying. So I finally look on my phone, and it's the ex, and he's telling me that he needs me home. That he wants to talk to me. That he doesn't want to fight with me. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I need to go home anyways. I need a little breather. I'm just gonna tell Peach I'm gonna come back, because this was like early during the day. So I tell Mrs. Peach, like, I'm gonna go home real quick. I need to go get some stuff. I'll be back. She's like, for sure. Because I already gave you some of the money earlier. If you want to get fully paid, make sure you come back. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I leave. When I get back home, me and him are talking. He's like apologizing up the ass, telling me that it was just a misunderstanding, that he shouldn't have been alone with her, and that I shouldn't be upset, and that I'm so pretty, and that Sam wasn't pretty. I hate that. I really fucking hate that. He gets up and he goes to the restroom, and he tells me like, oh, I got you some cookies. So the cookies are there. It's my own separate bag. And his mom comes in, and she tells me and stuff like, why is there cookies right there? I'm like, oh, like you bought me some. She's like, Mira, look at the cookies. Look at the cookies. Those were mine, and he probably just put those ones in there. He didn't go out to the store and get you any. He just probably got that bag that we got from the last time we got cookies. No te crees. And so I'm just like, oh my God, like, you were such a bitch. So as he went to the restroom, his phone was charging. So I'm like, okay, I'm going through his phone because that's just what I do. And I'm just looking at different things. And I see that Jack is under the phone twice. So there's a Jack and a J Jack. So I'm like, okay, interesting. I look at the J Jack, and it says, hey, this is my number. So I grab my phone, and I took a picture of the phone, because I'm like, I know I don't got enough time to sit there and put everything in. His mom comes, she's like, get gases. What are you doing? I'm like, nothing, because she sees me touching his phone. So I put his phone away, and then I grab my cookies and I leave. I don't want to wait till he comes out of the restroom, okay? I leave. So I'm going through my phone, I see the picture, and I'm trying to remember, okay, it's example 111, go back to the thing, 111, 444, 444. Like trying to remember, going back to like, you know, the keypad where you put in the number. Okay, I call it. I'm just waiting. Because the whole time I'm like, this is probably Sam's number. Like this has to be Sam's number. Like it has to be. Like it just has to be. And it's just ringing. Nothing. And so I'm like, okay. So I get to Peaches and she's like, oh, you didn't take that long. You went to go get cookies? Because I have the cookies. And I'm like, yep, I went to go get cookies. She's like, you told me I went to go home. I was like, nope, I went to go get cookies. So I go upstairs and I help her with what she needs help with. And she's trying to talk to me about the incident and stuff, that never to fight over a man, that it's not worth it. And I already know that I'm probably not going to end up with him like forever and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And so she's like trying to give me advice. And I tell her like midway, like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And she's like, well, it's because I want you guys to hang out. Like, she's just a troubled kid. You're a troubled kid. And just trying to tell me that she's trying to like make us be friends. And I'm like, like, I don't like her, like at all. Like, I don't like her. And so we're just going back and forth of like, give her a chance. Nope, don't want to. Come on. Nope, don't want to. I go on my phone and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this number again. My phone's about to die. So I'm like, hey, Peach, can I use your phone? She's like, you have your phone. And I'm like, I know, but it's about to die. I need to call this number. She was like, for what? And I'm like, I just need to call it. I need to check my balance of something. So she's like, okay. So I call the number, have my phone, I call the number. When I type it in, it's Sam's number. So before I could even finish it, I just run downstairs and I look at Sam and I'm like, damn, you really wasted no time, huh? No time. And she's just like getting something. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no time at all, like whatsoever, like no time at all. What are you talking about, crazy? And I'm like, no time again, no freaking time at all, huh? And then and the whole time I'm thinking like, damn, was I outside that long? Was I really like, was it like the time? First of all, foundation is Balm. So I'm like trying to pin everything together. Like, was I really gone that long? And so I tell her like, why do you have his number? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, why do you have his number? She's like, what are you talking about? So we're going back and forth of like, what am I talking about? People like that, they will always try to see your cards before they fold. Always. 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 So I just tell her and stuff that he told me that he had her number and that she texts like, hey, this is my number. I'm like, he showed me the message. And she's like, oh my God, that's who you're talking about? Oh my God. He told me that he was trying to call you and you weren't answering. So he asked if he could have my number so he can get a hold of you. I was so pissed. There was her drink on the counter and it just went like that and it spilled. And I was like, clean that up. And I just walked out. Peach, I can hear her running downstairs and she's like screaming, well, Alexis. And I was like, And so I walked out. As I'm walking out, I can see Baltimore in the driveway and she's talking to her boo. And she was like, why is your face always like that? Why are you always upset? Blah, 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 blah. And I tell her, your sister's a little bitch. I'm like, I thought that you were the worst of the worst, but she is. And she's like, what happened? I was like, yeah, she did kiss him. She does have his number. And they probably did something by the time where I was hanging out with my friend. And I'm like, kind of like just venting to her, like telling, like, you know, trying to like, I guess, get her in trouble in a way. And she's like, wait, what? Like, she was just like, what? And the boyfriend is listening. He's like this. I go home and I'm sitting there. He is livid that I went through his phone. He is livid that I went through the phone. He has the same line of excuse. She probably had texted him at the time like, hey, I told her this. And it was just so embarrassing. I hated it. I felt so like betrayed, even though there was like no friendship. I was just like, God, man, like this taught me early on that a lot of men ain't. People will do something so like nasty and grimy like that. Give them a little bit of time. They don't even need that much time, and they'll do it. The next couple of days, I just wasn't talking to her. I wasn't talking to her at all. Every time that I would go to Mrs. Peach's, we weren't talking, and she would try and tell me like, hey, I deleted his number. Like, you know, that was kind of stupid. Him like, you know, like he did probably just want my number, and that's how he, you know, oh, guys are so stupid. And just trying to like make me feel like I'm your friend, fuck him, like that kind of thing, you know. And it was just so freaking awkward because desperate me, little me, a naive me, wanted that friendship. It wanted me to be like, no, you're right, like thanks, like thanks for deleting his number, we can be cool again. But no, it was just no. So there was one incident that Mrs. Peach had to leave with Baltimore, and they had to go shopping. The kids were off doing something with their father, so we had the house to ourselves. So the whole time I still had to do the chores that I had to do, and Sam was just kicking it, chilling, and I pretty much tried to pick up after her, but to a certain extent, because when she would like eat and like leave her like Cheeto dust, I would tell her like, pick it up, like I need to pick it up after you. And I was kind of stern with it, where it was just like, please test me so like we can go at it. She would pick up after herself, and so she needed something from the store, and she asked me if I can keep her company and go, and I was like, nah, I'm good. She's like, please, like I don't want to go by myself, please, like I know I messed up, like can we please just go? So as we're walking and going to the store, she's like telling me and stuff that was pretty messed up, that like, you know, he was just very charming, and he just like, you know, was bullshitting really good. She's like, he's like not my type at all, and it's just literally going in one ear and out the other. We end up going to the store. It's kind of like kind of close, kind of not, Rite Aid. So we go to Rite Aid, and we're just walking through the aisles, and she's picking up like some eyeliner, some like girl products and stuff, and she's like telling me that like I should like, you know, do my makeup or something, like put myself together. And I was telling her like, I don't need it. Like I don't, not because like cocky, like I was just like, I don't need it. Like I don't need my money to go do that right now. Like I don't need it. And so she was telling me like, oh my God, I would love to give you a makeover one day. Like, you know, so she was like trying, and I felt it. Like I was like, all right, like you are really trying. I understand. I get it. Okay. As we're looking around, this is like a store that like at the time that like people would go to a lot. Like you would run into people that you go to school with, you would run into like people you live around. Like it's just a common store, the Rite Aid at the time, that like people would go to. As we're walking through the aisles, I see Skillet. And so I already had told Skillet all about it. She was so down to like just mop her already and just like fight her for me, and just like, you don't have to get your hands dirty, I'll get my hands dirty so you don't get fired type, you know? So I see Skillet, and Skillet is with her uncle at the time, and she makes eye contact with me. She runs up to me, she hugs me like, oh my God, like, I miss you. Because there was lots of times like where we'd hang out a lot, and then we would like miss, you know? It's just like, I was just that type of friend. So right away she sees Sam. She didn't even have to introduce herself. She's like, is this her? And I was like, mm-hmm. And Sam right away looked terrified of Skillet. Terrified. And so she like starts telling her and stuff that like what the fuck, like why would you do that? Like, you know, that's like, that's grimy. She's like, you dirty. She's like, go sit over there, like I'm gonna talk to my friend, like making it very awkward. And like a lot of the times I look back, I'm like, that was so weird, and we really thought we were cool, you know? So she starts pretty much telling her like what's up, like what's good, like do that shit in front of me, do that shit to me, and like just like punking on Sam. And this was the first time I had seen Sam like kind of like oh my God, because Skillet, I think I have a resting bee phase, but Skillet takes a cake. And so she's like telling her pretty much like, what's up, like, you know, all that bark you were doing, calling my girl homeless, calling her this and that, like what's up, and just telling her. And Skillet's uncle's like, stop, oh my God, stop, like moving her to the side. And Sam is like, I'll just meet you over there. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So me and Skillet are talking, and as we're walking towards for her to go to the cash register, I tell her bye. And so I see Skillet waiting by the door. And so I walked her Skillet, and I was like, oh, I thought you were really gonna walk home. And so she starts laughing. She's like, no, I just want to talk to you, and I just want you to know that like I'm really, really sorry, and I should have never done that. I was like, whatever. I'm like, dude, you're just scared. Like just because you probably think like I'm some person who doesn't have anybody, I don't got a home, I don't got nothing, like I do have some people writing for me. And so she was telling me like, no, I get that, and I just want to say sorry, like I really do apologize, and I did lie to you when I said that I deleted his number. Like I didn't, like we have been talking, and he's just been asking me like how things are, and like he brings up you and stuff, and that hurt my heart, because I'm like, dude, I believed you, like I really thought you deleted his number. So as we're walking, I hear this freaking truck come by. Like you can hear when a truck is coming by, right? And right away I feel like the side of me, so I'm walking here, Sam's walking here, and at the side of me I just feel wet, like a little bit of wet, like, but just this side, just wet. Skillet fucking ass threw her big ass drink out the window, and it freaking got Sam drenched, super wet, drenched. And It was so funny and embarrassing because I got a little bit wet and I was like, what the and I look up and I see Skillet. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at Sam and Sam is just like, yeah, so like, I'm really gonna delete it. Like, I'm really not gonna talk to him anymore. It was so freaking funny and embarrassing, and one of like the funniest moments that I remember, because it's just like, damn, like y'all, you really had to have a drink thrown at you for you to just like respect girl code or whatever. Like, like what the fuck? So we're walking home and she's literally walking like this the whole time. Like, here's her bag and she's just like walking like this the whole time because she's just soaked. Like, I don't know if this bitch had like a big gulp or what, but she was soaked like completely, and it was hilarious, like super freaking funny. Go home, as soon as we walk to the door, Baltimore automatically assumes that it was me, and right away sounds like, no for Alexis, like it wasn't her fault. No. She's like, someone just threw the drink out the window. She's like, what are you, what, or was it for her? Like, what the fuck? And so that was the time that Sam got a little taste of her medicine, because she was a little bitch too. And anyway, she didn't stop. Okay, she was really bad. Eventually we did become friends, but there was a lot of hiccups in the road, like a lot. She didn't have any loyalty to me, which was fine, you know, but it just really sucked that I thought I was gonna get like a little bit of break of the bullshit, but this was just someone who came into the mix that just seemed someone that was an easy target. We did have a lot of hiccups, but eventually we ended up getting along. That's why when she messaged me, she was like, they're gonna hate me and they're gonna love me. She don't deserve no hate. She was a little shit. She was very, very young, very stupid too. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you guys did, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps out. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. If you guys did, let me know down below if you have been in a similar situation where something grimy like this happens to you and they have got their payback and you're just like you didn't have to do anything. It was just, well, I guess technically I did. I told her about it, but I didn't do it myself. You know what I mean? It wasn't me who threw the drink. I wish it was, but it wasn't. I love you guys so much. And sorry if I got a little like sad, because like sometimes when I reminisce on stuff and I tell some certain story times, like sometimes like I'm like fully healed and sometimes I'm like it's like a band-aid, you know, just ripping it open again. Or if it's like a wound and you're like putting your finger in it again and you're just like it's still it makes me sad when a lot of you guys can relate on the freaking old ladies, viejas, being hateful and evil. But I feel like in a way it has made a lot of us stronger, and we know not to be like that. I was never stingy with food ever in my life. Have ever been stingy with food. But growing up and having that bitch be stingy with food with me and having me not feel comfortable enough to like eat and like not letting me eat a lot, it has made me always make sure that like if you're at my table, you're never starving. You want something, I'll get it. If we're out and about and you're like, oh, I don't got nothing to eat, I got you. I didn't ask you that. Like, you'll never starve with me. Stuff like that is just not cool, and it has shaped me to who I am, and I like who I am, because I feel like maybe if I didn't go through a lot of the shit that I went through, even though I don't think if I went through all this shit I wouldn't be a good person, but it made me a nicer person, I guess, you know what I mean? Because there's just some times where I'm just like, God, like who would even do that? Like I wouldn't even do that. But I don't know, there's a path that we have, and maybe we go through that one, and even though it's bumpy and at the time you're just like, I don't even want to continue, look at all of what you would have missed if we didn't continue to go forward. So with that being said, I love you guys very much. Besos a todos, and I'll see you guys in my next story time. Bye.